Okay then, let's continue. I'm going to show this in a later thing. This is a very old 1950s broiler. This is my grandmother's, and I can't get to the front of it right now to demonstrate it, but I'll show you that later. So let's take a look at this. This is an Osterizer Galaxy blender, and I'm not necessarily a collector of blenders, but excuse me, I like to have things that are vintage. So we've got different selections here. We've got chop, grate, grind, stir, puree, whip, mix, blend, frappe, and liquefy. If this blender won't do it to it, then you need more than a blender. But I would assume this is probably the mid 70s on up. I've never operated this blender, but I'm sure it works good. Now this one is not as high quality as others I've seen. It's made out of plastic all over. But just wait, there's more. So it's got the fan on the bottom of the motor. Oster made in USA. And this model number is not sure, can't find it. Well, I don't know what the model number is. Well, let's say we just plug it in to make sure it's off first. Plug it in and run it briefly and see if it runs. Sure it does. It's made in USA, of course it does. Oh yeah, and boy, it has that nice electric motor smell. I love that smell. It's not the melting smell when they're overheated and they're frying themselves. It's that just smell of brushes. We used to have it when I was a kid. You know, when you get older like I am now, you tend to think about things you had as a kid. And we used to have a slot car track set. And those things, those are the most fun little things to race, because man, they flew. If none of you have ever had a slot car track, you really need to have one. But they had that same exact smell, man. We'd run those things and run the whole room smell like that. Some good memories. And this, by the way, this is a set of hands. This is a napkin holder I made when I was about 10 years old. That was my hands then, that's my hands now. Yeah, about the same. Not that much difference. Alright, what's the next item? Who said Tyler, come on down? This is I just picked this up. This is a Mr. Coffee automatic coffee maker. And I got this even though I don't drink much coffee. It was $6. Because it's all there. It's got the carafe with it. And my mother had one of these when I was a kid. And I remember specifically these lights right here that say off, and then you got warmer, and then the brew that lit up. I love that. I love that coffee maker. And this one's even got the coffee saver on it. I'm assuming that's so that you could try to recycle your grounds a little bit. I want to extend the coffee making capabilities. So I'm gonna pause you for a second, and we've got another blender to look at. And like I said, I'm not a blender connoisseur necessarily. You know, I don't collect blenders for any particular reason, but I ended up with two of them. So let's look at the other one. Alrighty then, here we are. This is a Sears solid state 7-speed blender. About the same selections as the other blender had. It's got off, stir, whip, grate, mix, chop, blend, and liquefy. I think it's got actually less. It doesn't have frappe. But this one's actually a little bit more solidly built. It's got a metal casing on the top, chrome metal, and it's in this nice medium green that everything in the kitchens used to be back then. And I remember I lived through that. They absolutely did. That's why these hands are green. That was the color back then. Green, harvest gold, and that kind of a brown color, kind of a reddish brown color, burnt orange, I guess they called it. And the big thing back then too, you guys that are not that old, big thing back then too is you could paint an appliance like the dishwasher. It would be that color. And then the big thing was to have kind of a darker color edged around it, and sort of like a custom. I hope I can explain it, but it was like solid at the edge, and it just like blended into it, not misted. That was a big thing back then. Man, if you had appliances that all matched and they were like that, you were hip. You were groovy, man. That was the big deal. So this one, I don't know if I'm taking this off correctly or not. It looks like this is a glass carafe that goes on this. I'll drop that. So there's this has got an attachment, and it's got a, oops, oh boy, got a seal, plastic sealing ring right there, keep it from leaking. And then this is where the drive is, the motor down in there. So let's plug this one up too. See if we blow a breaker or something. See if it works. Of course it does. Made in the USA. What did you expect? Now that one has a different smell to it. This one's got more of a, it doesn't really have that electric brush smell. This one's got more of a 70s or 80s kitchen smell, like they've been making cakes or something. That's exactly what that reminds me of. I like it. So, of course, I've safely unplugged the machine before putting the cutting blades and mixing blades back in place. I don't want it running with my hand over it, or I will no longer have any fingers probably. Yeah, about that. See that? That screws on there. Got threads on it. I've never seen that before. So, boy, if you threw this thing at somebody, it'd kill them. Oh yeah, I meant to turn this over and look at the model number of this. Ah, crap. See if I can do that. I wonder who made this blender for Sears, you know, because Sears, you know, big box stores like that, you know, it's sad too, Sears is about gone now, but big box stores, they didn't usually make their own products. Somebody made this for them, of course. So this is, I would say either you're wearing or, okay, this says, I'm going to have to read it to you. This says, Sears, Roebuck and Company, Simpson. Oh boy, Simpsons-Sears Limited. This is a model number 400.82128, made in USA. It's cleaned up on the bottom a little bit. Ah, so what fell out here? Oh, this is the guide ring, I guess. That might won't go back in. There it is. Very nice. That's back when blenders were blenders. And, you know, people wouldn't want to buy something like this anymore because it's too heavy. I don't like it because it's glass. What if it fell? I'm just going to go get me a new blender. I got them over there at Fred's. Alrighty. So, that's about the end of the vintage kitchen. I've actually got, excuse my kitchen, but I've got, it ain't as worse as some I've seen, and you know who I'm talking about. But over there, that is, let's take a glance at that one. This is, picked this up quite a long time ago. This is actually an Oster automatic pulp ejector juicer with low, off, and high settings. And right now, I don't know how in the world to use this thing, but maybe one day we'll figure it out. So, okay guys, so thanks for joining me with the vintage kitchen tour. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.